never looks messy.
I know. It's just been chaos.
Okay.
It's been a chaotic few weeks in
So
my
I hit
personal
on
life.
both things, right?
So yeah, you hit on both things. So
And
yeah,
the light in the back there, what is it? Does it need Viagra?
it's always been like that.
Okay.
Way to now way to pay attention. Listen, it's not about
Way
the
to pay
amount of
attention.
slow.
This is my second episode back.
Yeah, and how many before?
I don't know, man. I can't.
At least
I think what
30.
Court is saying is you've really let yourself go since he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
He was the one keeping you in shape.
Well, no, he shaved his beard for he trimmed it because it was getting gangly for a while.
I have to shave again, anyways. But also joined this week, we got. Hold on, shit. What was it? Wait.
Just pick any one of the three. It's fine.
No, I know, but hold on. Wait, what was it?
You have
I
this
wrote in
shit
my
written down?
I wrote it in my other
did.
notebook.
Oh my
You did.
God.
I don't know where it is. Anyways, I love Guru. What's up, Denny?
Hey, what's
I
going
love
on,
Guru.
man?
No offense to any, but that's a bad movie.
I know.
Okay.
But it's a good moniker for Denny because he just gives love, man.
Not always, but enough.
Yeah.
I suppose.
He
giveth
and he take.
out of him.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Denny, how you
I don't
doing?
have Rice here to kumbaya this shit, so this is gonna go off the rails today.
Oh, it's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, right. I know Rice isn't here this week. It's his birthday in a few days, so if you follow him on any of the
Rice.
socials at his link tree, which you can find
Wednesday.
Rice BOYYY TV. His birthday's coming up in a few days, so make sure you go pop over, send him well wishes, and tell him that he needs to tell his wife to let him buy a PS5 Pro, and that'll all be fine. Unless he gets one for his birthday.
Ooh, that'll be
Right?
an interesting plot twist.
That would be an interesting plot twist. On this week's show, we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. We're going to be talking about our games of the year as we lock in for our last show of the season, and Denny's last show with us for the time being as well. Denny, you've been such a massive, awesome part of the team for the last little while, hopping in and really holding shit down with us as Court stepped away for a little bit. So thank you for all your help, and don't be a stranger. We're going to be calling you back plenty, so don't worry.
Yes, thank you for filling my shoes.
I did what I can. That's all.
Yeah, you did better than I did, so don't worry about it.
He kind of came in with he's like, oh, I need to be like a curmudgeon like Court was, and then he was like, oh wait, no, this doesn't work.
I'm not curmudgeon, just Matt brings the worst out of people sometimes. His ageism. He's always like going at the age jokes because he thinks that's a thing.
Right.
See, Court doesn't even remember that I haven't made one of those in a while. So I mean,
I can show people our Discord. Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh,
and you just made one at the same time.
Go find
Matt,
receipts.
Just doing the age joke there again.
See, there you go. It took a bit.
I'm tired, man.
It's all right. Let's get into it, guys. So we're gonna skip past what we've been playing lately today, just because we have a bunch of Game Awards to talk about. I want to make sure we have time to really dig into our games of the year.
I finished the game. God damn it.
Okay, fine. Quickly, Court, what have you been playing?
I finished Dragon Age.
Okay, done. Moving on. No, but okay. How did you feel about the ending?
I liked the ending, but then I don't know. I heard that there are different endings depending on how you play the game.
Mm-hmm. Is that par for
Age ending?
Is that par for the course in Dragon Age?
No,
because that's not that abnormal for RPGs.
No, excuse me. It's par for the course for a BioWare game. Let's be honest. You can have different endings in Dragon Age, but that's just like different people die, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And so I guess that's sort of the same thing in this, but not really. I felt the ending was too no duh, but
okay,
but still, in video games and TV and all that have become so transparent. It's sad. So,
but you like
no one has any original thoughts anymore.
Is it still that you enjoyed the kind of core narrative? The side stuff still didn't kind of improve that.
Like as you poopy still.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you
finished
it.
Game itself beautiful. I loved it on my PS5 Pro so much that I started playing Alan Wake 2. Game is amazing.
How's that going?
Nice.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Maybe you'll be done by the time we reconvene next year. So we'll talk more about that then. Denny, what about you, my dude? What have you been playing?
Just started Black Myth.
Nice. Okay. It was robbed. Okay, let me just tell you, the CEO wrote his speech years ago.
2 years ago, because he was that confident.
Yeah, cocky ass motherfucker. Come on. But what are your early thoughts and feelings?
I like it. Fun. Hasn't been glitchy for me yet. I've only played like an hour or so.
Okay.
Because the physical copy came out earlier this week, so I had it on pre-order. Yeah, so far so good. No complaints. Enjoying it.
Well, I'm excited for it to kind of continue the Denny trend where you'll play it for another hour, hop off to something else, to hop off to something else, to hop off to something else. Remember that Black Myth exists. Come back around to it, and then we'll see if you'll finish it by 2026.
So by this time next year, I'll be like, you know what? I just picked it back up.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
it so much.
exactly.
It'll be fine.
next GOTY episode when you come back to hang with us, you'll be like, "Oh, so I'm playing Black Myth," and I'll be like, "This sounds like deja vu."
It could be
Right.
like Rice, and all he ever does is play Destiny.
Or Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's
too.
Dogma too.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's the one. That's the one. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm excited to hear more about what you think as you continue your journey. I know Rice said that a lot of the glitchy and issue, like the tech issues that he had, were more in the back half of the game.
Yeah.
Because I probably played until like chapter 4, and I didn't really experience any tech issues. I fell off because it got annoying. But
Hold on.
what?
I need to like dive into this. What annoyed Matt in a video game? Because you try and find roses in a pile of poop sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what annoys him.
Sometimes you have to dig a little bit. What's up, Xbox's Mansion Pass? Thanks for
Hey,
being
look
here,
who it
dude.
is.
Hey.
What's up? So what finally got me was not even the difficulty, was not even like the combat, because I feel like the boss that I got stuck at, which was this giant rock golem, I feel like I could have got past it. But my issue was that the spawn point to get to him was like a minute and a half of a run away. So every time I died, and I died frequently because that's the nature of this game, I kept having to redo this run, like through
yeah.
tons of enemies, like trying to dodge my way through as much as I can to get to the boss with as much health as I could. So like if the spawn point was like by the boss, which, you know, a lot of even like Dark Soul stuff is like there's usually a spawn right outside the boss, I can beat my head against the wall and eventually get past it. It was the run getting there that eventually put the nail in the coffin for me, because I'm like, I'm just not having fun getting to the boss. The boss is fine. I'm not having fun doing this run over and over and over and over.
It's
again.
a 1990s mechanic that needs to be out of video games altogether. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, as much as I'm loving Alan Wake 2, having to find a saves point, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on. You know what? I thought we were past this in video games.
Though what I will say is Alan Wake 2, if I remember, like it actually has decent checkpoints even between those. It just doesn't tell
better.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets better.
Exactly. But yeah, this one was just like that run just ended it for me. So I was not about that anymore. As for myself, I have been playing. What have I been playing? Oh, I finished Behemoth. Skydance's Behemoth. I played. It's out on PSVR 2. I played it on MetaQuest 3. It is fine. It is like
You literally texted me about a different game today.
I know. I'll get to that. I finished that one. The review's up on the site if you want to go check it out. It's basically like Shadow of the Colossus with a bit of God of War in VR. It has some really cool ideas, but technically it's a mess. Like I had enemies like spawning in the floor. Luckily their heads were sticking out far enough that I could kill them, because they like lock gates until you kind of get through the monster closet. A lot of just like terrible pop in. It's a game that feels like if you played it on your PS2 it would have made sense, but with VR, despite that, I still had a lot of fun. Like, you know, once I found this massive two-handed axe and I could literally cleave people's heads off and chop people off and like chop people into two, I had a lot of fun with the game. But it is technically it's a mess, at least on Quest 3. I'm not sure about PSVR 2. So for me it would be like a wait for sale. I still really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And then the other game that I actually started today was Batman Arkham Shadows, the VR one on MetaQuest 3. It's not on PSVR 2. I don't know if it is coming to PSVR 2. That shit rules.
Very early, by the way, because Matt texted me very early in the morning.
My wife took the baby's first nap, so I hopped in. But it's cool. Like the fact that they kind of nailed the Arkham feel in VR. Like the combat is awesome. The stealth is a lot of fun. The vibes of the game, the writing is really good so far. Really enjoying it. So I'll have that done and review up on the site when I can. But so keep it locked on consolecreatures.com to see more of that. But that shit rules. And Court, what you need to eventually get yourself some hands on a MetaQuest 3.
That's what I think. So like it. I know we're a PlayStation show. But I felt very burned by the PSVR 2. I did. And Matt knows this. I thought the tech was phenomenal. I thought the games, when it first launched, were phenomenal. And they did what they said they weren't going to do. They didn't support it.
Nope.
And the MetaQuest 3, there looks like the Assassin's Creed game I want to try. And it's
that also rules.
To jump in, I could probably get one on Boxing Day for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can play Batman, and I'll be okay with it. And my kid can play like Beat Saber and stuff like that.
And it does a cool thing where if you sign up for like their PlayStation Plus, they do a similar thing where there's like a ton of games available right then and there. And there are a lot of them, like
Ooh,
Walkabout Mini Golf is one of them. There's a lot of like
ooh, that's
quality titles that, and like I think it's like $100 for the year, and you have like a ton of stuff, and they add like 3 or 4 games every month as
oh,
well.
okay. That
Yeah.
sounds better. And plus the MetaQuest 3, I don't need to. It doesn't need to be hooked up to anything.
Nope.
Standalone, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it just sounds so much better. Like I said, the PSVR 2 tech was phenomenal.
Mhm.
Playing VR games like Walkabout Mini Golf, Matt and I played it a ton. I had a great fun with it, but I just see,
Quest 3
okay.
rules.
Luke's telling me Quest 3 rolls, and I know he loved Batman, and
Mhm.
he is a DC person like myself. You know what? On Boxing Day, I will get my Quest. I'll get one.
Yeah.
Boxing Day price is already out now, by the way.
What is it?
Yeah, but I gotta. What is the price rate? Oh, and I get no tax right now too.
You get no tax. So I just checked bestbuy.com. It's saying it's the Boxing Day price is $399.99
Not bad. That
for the
is really not
128
bad.
model.
Really,
And
eh?
it says
Mhm.
in a big banner, the GST HST for this item will automatically be deducted at checkout. So
Hell yeah.
All right, I'll go get one tomorrow.
I think
Sweet
that's a pretty
deal.
great place. The one thing that I will say, the last thing about the Quest 3 before we hop off this, I bought a third party battery pack that like is also a different head strap, because the head strap that comes with the thing is garbage. I
Ooh,
got really used to how comfortable the PSVR 2 is.
very
The
Yeah.
comfortable.
Quest 3 is I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic, probably 50 times worse in terms of its
Ooh.
comfortability.
Is it the same as the one as the Quest 2? It's just like the Velcro strap that tightens?
It is no, it's actually like a click dial, or at
Oh,
least
okay.
the new one that I have. But like even like the face guard,
Mhm.
I'm probably going to change that out too, because it's really hard on your face, not like really nice like the PSVR 2 was.
PSVR
Mhm.
2 is like once again very good tech.
Yeah, so like what I would say is buy a new strap with the battery pack, because it actually counterbalances the weight on it, because it's very front heavy, so it kind of sits hard on your face.
Oh,
So at
so
least the
it's like the
battery.
Apple Vision Pro, which is absolutely dog poop.
Yeah, so you can at least have the battery pack on the back to help counterbalance the weight, and it basically doubles doubles the battery, because you can just plug it in, and as long as it's charged, you're good to go. So that's the last thing I will say is I would get a third party thing. Uh, Luke in the chat, Kiwi Headstrong is my choice. Yeah, I can send you the one that I got too, and it's good. But
Did you
that's one
just
thing I
like
would say.
Jedi mind meld me there? You're just like
No, yeah,
I'm
my
buying it.
my camera froze up for
you're
a second. So
buying this. Like you
you're
literally were
buying.
just like you're buying this one.
Denny with clarification in our own chat. It's a 3S, so it's the newer one. An even better way to go. All right, let's talk some Game Awards. We're not going to go through everything. We're just going to kind of rapid fire through some of the pertinent stuff that we're excited about.
Hold on. I was right about one thing.
Me too.
One thing.
We're going to talk about that. Let's roll through it. We're just going to, like I said, hit the big stuff. If you see something that I'm not bringing up, stop me and we'll talk about it. I'm just kind of rolling through here. This was a lot of the pre-show stuff.
I did not
Rematch
stay up for this.
for a soccer game has me half interested because it's the Sifu devs.
So, as a sports fan, I was like, all right, it's okay. I don't know. It didn't get me. You know what? It was what's that other
It looks like
game?
Rocket League but actual
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I was like, you know what though?
Is it too
Yeah.
arcadey?
No, I think this thing will kill in like Europe. Like kill.
Mm.
If this hits like PlayStation Plus, I'm in like day one. Like I'll play this right away. I think it looks fun. And again, with no claps success on, or slow clap, sorry, success on Sifu, they have me curious that this would be fun to play, even though I'm not a
Look at
soccer
that
person.
thumbnail. How bad is that?
I know, right? Keep it rolling. Main show. Here we go. Witcher 4. Got
I am
a
extremely excited, and I love CC as the protagonist. I think that's phenomenal.
yeah. This is a great trailer. Very much like a tone setting CGI. Completely. We have no idea when this will ever
Totally
come out.
makes sense though.
100%. I'm glad that they're talking about it to some extent. I would guess at the earliest this is like a late 2026, early 2027
Yeah,
game if
like at
it
the
comes out.
end of the console life cycle. That's what
Yeah.
I looked at it as. This is either the end, and then we get the remaster for whatever the PlayStation 6 is.
Mhm.
But I took this trailer as here's a trailer, shut up. Like we give you
Mhm.
a ton of news, and I know we've been doing that. So here's a trailer to shut you up and give you a little thing.
Yep. And Ciri as a protagonist makes perfect sense. We do know
100%.
Geralt is in the game.
Yes.
Just not the main playable character. I think Ciri looks great. To all
He's just
the
gonna be the guy. He's gonna be our side piece. Let's
yeah,
be
like
honest
what was
here.
his name? Vesemir?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, we're
I
gonna
might be
have
making that
tons
up.
of side pieces.
Yeah. But yeah, cool start. Are you a Witcher guy, Denny?
Yeah, I've played The Witcher 3, but not to its entirety, as
Mhm.
always.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, fun game.
Yeah, excited about this. Elden Ring Night Ring is coming out. I know a lot of people are excited about this. It's a roguelike co-op Elden Ring. But if I saw somebody skeet that it's either 1 or 3 player, no 2 player, which feels
What?
weird. I'm not gonna be playing this, but to each
Yeah,
their
I'm
own.
definitely not gonna be playing it.
Fuck this AI garbage.
It looks very cute though. I'm gonna say it right now. Hey
Sure,
man, you can get mad all you want about the AI stuff, but it's here to stay,
it's
and it's just gonna
AI
get bigger and bigger.
slop.
All right,
Mm.
let's
The
go hit Pokemon.
the Untitled project from the creator of Ico Shadow Cross the Last Guardian. This looked kind of interesting. It's a dude climbing up into like a mech. That's all we really got from it. But the pedigree, the creator of Ico Shadow of the Colossus and Last
So you
Guardian.
say the pedigree. Okay, Shadow of the Colossus, great game.
Mhm.
Last Guardian was not a good game.
See, I feel like
And
Last
that had
Guardian
a
was one.
very long development time.
It was really
did.
bad when it came out, and it's
Yeah.
still bad.
But the thing is, that game does have a passionate fan base. I'm not amongst them. Like this
Hey,
creator
a lot
has
of bad
like
games have a pat. People liked Justice League, whatever, that terrible game that just came out.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
terrible. People liked
Yeah.
it. Luke's in the chat. He loved it.
I mean, to each their own. I'm curious enough about what this showed me that I'm interested to see more.
I'm tired of pandering to the stuff like that. I'm just tired of it. Outer Worlds 2 looked fantastic.
Yeah,
I
it looks
like the
fine.
first one. Outer Worlds, I love that game.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Yeah, it's all right. This was one of my highlights. Split Fiction looks like it has the fucking sauce, dude. From Joseph Ferris and Hazelight, the creators of It Takes Two. Luke says
So
he did
cool.
not like it. He did not
Oh,
like
okay.
Suicide Squad.
Sorry. My apologies, Luke. My
Split
apologies. I
Fiction.
don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, this looks insanely cool. It's like half of it's a co-op game where half of the game is like a medieval fantasy where it's like two authors
So
that
do
get
I
sucked into a
have to play it
simulation.
in co-op?
You have to play it in co-op. It's like It Takes Two.
I don't have many friends.
But the cool thing about this game is that if one person owns it, 2 people can play even online.
Oh, okay. That
They
I
have
do like.
They have a friend pass.
Okay.
So if even if you have somebody online and just one of you buys it, or you split the cost and keep it on somebody's account, both of you can play together.
Because the premise and everything about this game looks fantastic.
Do you don't think your daughter would vibe with it?
I think it might be a little too old for her just yet.
Okay.
I
Fair.
do. I thought of that while watching it, and I was like, she gets a little off on certain things. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, some of the stuff's really cool, but I think the platforming, like
Fair.
this kind of platforming that we're
Yeah.
seeing there, that you got to be a little bit more precise, and it's not as forgiving, like a Mario game and such,
Mhm.
would probably frustrate her, and she'd be out.
This is one of those things that like so my partner, my wife, is not one for this stuff either. She loved It Takes Two with me. There were parts where like she was like she gave me the controller, I did my part, and then I did her part. But yeah, I mean I get it. We'll see more, but
And
this
she
was
doesn't like guns, and I just saw guns.
fair.
She doesn't like guns at all. She
This
hate like it's interesting. She hates any game with guns. Yet
Fair.
she has zero issue with Horizon because she goes, "Well, that's a bow and arrow."
That's a boner. That's different. That's for hunting wabbits.
Mhm.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. March 6th, like this is easily one of my most anticipated games of the year next year. Like I cannot wait. It Takes Two was fantastic outside of
Bold
the
take
hot
there.
garbage. Outside of the hot garbage narrator, the story was god awful, and that one scene with the elephant still lives in my fucking nightmares in the deep recesses of my mind. I have never felt so uncomfortable as I have in a video game than in that stupid scene. So I'm hoping that they don't emulate that here, but I'm stoked. Denny, does this do anything for you?
Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm actually hoping I can convince my wife to play this because
Sorry.
my wife.
I knew
Yeah,
that.
no, I'd really convinced her to play this because it looks cool and I want to play it. And it'd just be easier to be able to coach co-op something. So I think she'd have fun with it.
This part had so Dave and I watched along. This part had us absolutely dying when the pigs then turned into hot dogs. I lost my shit. I could not stop laughing. What else we got here? Borderlands 4, anybody?
Before we get to Borderlands, there
Called
was
it.
a lot of shovelware on the Game Awards this year.
I thought this was a pretty good show.
No, that's not. I'm not. But there was a lot of shovelware filler. A ton of it.
I don't know. I thought this looks cool. It doesn't look for me. Whatever. But like I thought it was overall I think this has had the most games that I'm excited about out of any Game Awards ever.
I didn't even know they gave awards out at the show.
That's fair. Borderlands 4, anyone? I'm not a Borderlands person.
I'm a Borderlands fan, but Borderlands 3 was like all right.
Mm,
It wasn't the best. So I really need this to knock my stocks off. I need them to almost Borderlands 2 was so good, and the comedy in it and everything about it and the loot, it just was very good. And I felt 3 was it felt almost rushed, and it felt like it was going nowhere. The narrative just wasn't there. So I'm really hoping and really praying that this is a good game. I'm gonna buy it,
mhm.
and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, I hope for you. I
I
think
like loot goblin games. Like if you gotta, I like those games.
nice. Okay. Well, fingers crossed that it will be good.
We don't have to talk about Tekken. He's not here.
No, we don't have to talk about.
We kind of
Yeah,
do. There's some Final Fantasy in there.
That's true. There is Final Fantasy for Denny.
Bobby's not here. He's not here. We can move on.
Chris in the chat. Borderlands 3 annoyed the hell out of me. Hated the content creator antagonists.
Thank you, Chris. It
There you
was
go.
terrible.
Yeah. Splitgate 2 continues to look cool. I did a preview of this. I think I liked the first one a lot. I'm excited for the second one. What else we got? Project Century. Easily one of my hypest moments of this entire thing. RGG came out with Virtua Fighter 5. And I was like, or Virtua Fighter 6. And I was like, nah. I'm not a big fighting game person. I'm not a Virtua Fighter. And then they back-to-back RGG trailers of Project Century. And this looks awesome. This genuinely looks like an evolution for their type of gameplay. I flat out said on stream, I don't think this is RGG. I think this looks too good. Because their combat is much more kind of arcadey and more simple when it usually comes to their the actual like real-time combat. This just looks batshit. Like it looks really, really, really cool. And the fact that they now have Pirate Yakuza coming out in a couple months, Virtual Fighter on the cusp, they're doing Project Century. I guess this is their new Judgment series now that Judgment, I guess, is dead. I'm hyped for this. I cannot wait. Whenever it is, I'm there. Turok Origins, anyone? Dave was excited about this.
I was excited about this.
No.
As Dave and I are old, so we're excited about this game. This is an N64 game that all of us loved, and now it's back. So I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna play it. It's probably gonna be hot garbage, but we're gonna get a bunch of us 35 plus people, even though I'm 45. We're all gonna buy this. And we're gonna see if we like it because we like the original on the N64. That's
Correct me if I'm wrong, Court. And if I remember correctly, Dave said that the original was first person. This seems to be third person. Any thoughts about the switch, the perspective switch?
Well, you got to remember N64 to here, so I trust them. Like, you know what I mean? Like the N64 also looked like blocks, and there was no like it looked like garbage, and I thought it was the greatest looking game ever. So
did you play the 2008?
I like third person over first person every time. Like we've talked about this before, Matt. When Cyberpunk, it still pisses me off to this day.
Denny, what were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, did you guys play the 2008 version of Turok?
Never played a Turok.
It was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I did think this looked cool enough. Like if it reviews well, I'll hop in, kind of thing. Like I'm halfway interested. Like the combat looks fun. Helldivers 2, the update is available now. We got I think a new area. There's a new race of enemies. This looks dope. Dave hopped in and said that it's pretty cool. Court, are we gonna run some Helldivers?
If you're so that's the issue with this game. I can't play it unless I'm playing it with you and Steve. Otherwise, I just don't have fun.
Same.
Or Riley. Like I need someone to be like, like when we kill each other, or like when Matt comes in and he calls an airstrike and we're just like, we all die. Matt's like, it's okay. I needed to do that.
Especially when I do it on purpose.
But that stuff is funny. But when you play this with people randoms, this game is not fun for me. I think the gameplay loop is fantastic. I think they've done a great job with this game. I just need people to play with.
Chris in the chat, Helldivers update is awesome. The Illuminate are terrifying, by the way. Yeah, Court, let's run it.
On my list, Matt.
Denny, did you Helldivers much?
I had this year.
No, I didn't Helldivers at all.
Okay, well, if you decide to, we got an open spot.
We did it for like a month every day.
Yeah, we were in.
Noted.
What else we got? Onimusha. This had a lot of people very excited. I remember playing the first one. I don't remember like a lot of thoughts or feelings about it, but Denny, you seem stoked about Onimusha being back.
Nothing.
I'm just stoked that Capcom's doing something else besides Resident Evil right now. And I'm glad they're bringing back this franchise because it's been abandoned for at least a good generation or two. I think the last one I remember was on the PS2. But let's see what they do. I mean, it seems like a lot of games are coming back and going into the feudal Japan era. So
that's true. Feudal Japan is hot right now.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I'm curious. Like I don't remember a lot. Like,
Thank you to
are you?
Ghost of Tsushima for finally making a very good game that we all can be like, this should be game of the
Yes.
year. It doesn't win
Yes.
game of the year, but it should have been. I'm just gonna say it now.
Do you remember enough about the combat today? Are you expecting this to be Souls-like esque or more actiony, like Devil May Cry esque? Because one
I
of those is
think
more excited than the other.
it's gonna be kind of like, do you remember what's it called? Tenshu?
Yes, dude. Tenchu was my shit.
I think
More
it was
like
like
Rise of the
that.
Ronin. So like not full Souls like, but like mid.
Yeah, but definitely a little more hack and slashy, less stealthy, because I think Tenshu was more stealthy.
Yes, Tenchu was much more like ninja assassin-y.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
in.
probably like Rise of the Ronin, where you could like play it if you
True.
want it Souls like or not. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I love that game.
Yeah. It gave you room to wiggle around in. First Berserker Kazan. I can't believe this is gonna be out in March when we got a CGI trailer. I thought that was weird, but I don't really have any strong feelings about that game. Dying Light the Beast. Anybody for Dying Light?
So
I liked Dying Light 2 fine, but at the same time, not enough that I want to go back. I will say,
yeah.
if this is like a superhero version of Dying Light, if this is like Prototype, but Dying Light, I am much
Ooh,
more
man,
in.
Prototype was a great game.
Prototype slapped. Prototype was great. And
I
this
had like a whole very alcoholic conversation with someone at PAX East last year, from the originally from the Detroit area. I just don't want it. When we talked about Prototype for like 45 minutes, I don't know. It was a good
Dude,
conversation.
Prototype was dope. And like this seems to be like you might have like some sort of supernatural abilities or something. So if this ends up being more on like the power fantasy side, that might be enough to get me in.
Eh.
Oh yeah, Post Malone was there. Stage Fright. I thought this looked really cute. I'm a big Overcooked fan. And this
So
is the
I
first time in
really
a while.
liked this. I thought
right?
this was phenomenal.
The trailer was just very meta, very clever, very tongue in cheek. Like it clearly knew what it was doing. I'm waiting to see some actual gameplay because I feel like the end was again kind of more of a proof of concept when them running towards the screen, like helping each other do stuff. Again, shout out to It Takes Two for popularizing split screen co-op like this again. Because I like if the gameplay delivers, I'm in. This looks great. Game of Thrones, anybody?
Nope.
I
Nope.
didn't really care for it. Okay. What else we got here? Last of Us Part 2 remaster coming to
It's on
PC April
PC.
3rd.
This is
Yep.
PlayStation. If you're listening, just release your games at the same time on PC. Like, just stop it.
Mafia: The Old Country.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. So I'm a huge Mafia fan. I am so excited for this game.
I've never played a Mafia Court. Do I need to play a Mafia?
So I would suggest just play Mafia 2.
Okay.
Mafia will actually, so they're all remastered. You can actually go back and play. I'll take that back. Go back and play Mafia 1 because you can play like the PS5 version.
Mhm.
The game's phenomenal. And then you can play Mafia 2, which you'll like. Mafia 3, if you're not it can drag on and it'll be a little bit too much, but
Mhm.
1 and 2 are phenomenal.
So what are you hoping for with The Old Country then? What would make you be like, see,
More
what would
like
you-
Mafia 1 and 2 because I think they went too far with Mafia 3 and brought it to the modern times. I like the non-modern guns. That's what I like because
Okay.
there's so many games where you're using these super duper guns and doing all this kind of stuff. I want
Yeah, like The Division.
Well, Division, I love that game. I just can't help it. Like 600 hours in that stinking thing. But the one thing I do like about these games is the stories. So
Mhm.
I like Casino and The Godfather and Goodfellas. I loving that Brooklyn Story, like all these great movies. The stories they do with these are so good.
Okay.
Like so good.
I might have to see how they run on deck. This might be one that I might be playing on the go.
See, I would say that needs to be on the big screen because it's like a movie. But
Okay. We'll see.
okay.
Dispatch. I really loved what I saw here. I thought what was Aaron Paul, and I'm blanking on her name. Oh my god. What's her name? The voice actress.
I don't know what that means.
Laura Bailey. Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey on stage together. They're the leads in this. I think this looks great. Coming from Telltale Daves, where you're basically playing like a superhero dispatch service. I think it looks cool. Okami is finally getting a sequel. Anybody on this? I just got the original and I started it on Steam Deck. I played it for like an hour and I didn't really care for what I played thus far. It feels very
Matt,
old
you don't
game
have
is
to ask
old.
me.
Yeah, old
I
game
know.
is old. Like Okami was definitely like a game from its time, and I don't think it did very well. But it's interesting that they're doing a sequel. But I hope they modernize it. I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
I'd imagine they go open worlds completely and they kind of go like the Zelda formula with it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that feels like what it should be. Um, I thought what they showed looks like beautiful, but they also just said that it's just starting development. So I don't know how much of that was just a proof of concept. We'll see. Crimson Desert. I'm really excited about this. I think this looks really cool. This game looks like it just has friggin' everything. From the gameplay that I've seen and stuff, like the fights look interesting and stuff. Like I'm not sold enough, but I am curious to see more. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, Naughty Dog's new game, Neil Druckmann's new game,
Court was right.
Court was
finally
right.
unveiled. Court, how are we feeling about new Naughty Dog?
Dude, so as a Star Wars fan and as a retro, like,
Yes.
okay, did we all not notice like the CDs and like I was like, oh my god, like there were so many different ones. So I
Did it
really
not-
hope there's a killer soundtrack to this.
Did it not feel you were
because
kind
Pet
of
Shop
like
Boys-
watching an 80s movie?
Well, yes, but I think it was like late 80s because that
Yeah.
Pet Shop Boys album that she was popping in is from 1988. So, and the Adidas shoes, I noticed she was wearing Adidas shoes, and I was
Yeah.
I just thought it was phenomenal. I really like the protagonist. Just, I think she's great so far. I'm like, it's interesting to me. Like, I just want to jump in, but like when she drops that power sword that like looks like a lightsaber,
It
but
has like the waveforms on it.
it was
Ooh.
definitely like Star Wars-esque the way they did it. It almost looked like when you got to see the first time in the trailer, Kylo Ren dropped it when he was in that forest. and he gets to
Yeah.
drop
The
down
cross guard.
yeah. And so when she does it, I'm just like, damn. It just felt like good. Like Naughty Dog's giving me something different. I'm really excited to jump in. It had Cyberpunk 2077 vibes, and I'm in. Like I'm all in. But once again, this is only a trailer.
Mhm.
And I'm all in because Naughty Dog has truly never disappointed me, like
Mhm.
ever, like literally ever. So I'm in. This could be the first time it disappoints me. I am disgusted by the amount of negativity it's gotten on the internet because
Stupid people.
guys with little dicks think that they that they're threatened by a female lead, and
Mhm.
so that their little dick gets smaller. So whatever, to
Yep.
each their own. But who cares who the lead is and who the like? Jesus, Murphy, what is wrong with people in this world?
Mm-hmm. Denny, what about you?
Oh man, I'm like in the same boat as Court.
Oh,
like,
hold on, stop right there. Look who's in the top there. I just
Yeah,
noticed
Kumail
it.
Nanjiani, dude.
That's the first time I noticed that.
Yeah, you didn't notice Kumail? Yeah,
No.
it's Kumail Nanjiani. And this is Ella Purnell from Arcane and Fallout. That woman is
Nice.
everywhere video gamesy right now. But yeah, Denny.
Oh no,
thoughts?
I'm in the same boat as Court, especially like the retro vibe that this game, this trailer gave me, just made me fall in love with it a little bit more. Because yeah, I grew up on like the old 80s sci-fi movies, right? Like watching Alien and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it
How
felt
did
like
I
that.
not notice that. Sorry.
And yeah, the retro music is cool, and I'm super impressive. This is truly all in-game engine,
Right.
right? Like this trailer is fully using the in-game engine. This is going to be a fantastic looking game.
I will put a caveat here. They've done this before. The original Last of Us trailer said it was all in game,
Oh yeah.
and it was not.
Oh,
So only once Naughty Dog has lied to us. So, but like even that, like damn it, that
look
is
at that!
That's it's oh look at. So I want to
Beautiful.
those CDs and
Mm-hmm. Dude, I just think this looks incredible. I'm so happy we're finally getting a new IP from Naughty Dog because like they've been doing Uncharted and Last of Us only for over a decade now, right? So
now
I'm really
that still
excited.
handles there. Those are the controls from The Last Starfighter, which is a movie from the 80s.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
So
And Druckmann said that he's inspired by Cowboy Bebop and Akira, which is all I need to hear
Fantastic.
in terms of like in terms of inspiration. I think this looks super cool. I'm really glad that it's not this like grim dark other thing. Like I'm glad they're going in a completely new direction. The thing that I'm most curious about is combat because this seems to be, at least from this little shot here, it seems like it's going to be melee focused, which isn't something Naughty Dog has ever really has done, at least not done in quite some time.
no.
So I'm
Have
very
they ever done it?
curious.
Well, no, technically, on
Jack and
Last of
Daxter.
Us is kind of melee. There's guns.
There is melee, but it's not like melee combat. Like it's just beat somebody over the head and that's
Now,
it, right?
Here's what I'll be pissed. If this is a Dark Soulsy, like the combat is ridiculously hard, I'm just why?
You just want to have a good time. You don't
I
want
don't-
to have to
Like
sit
I'm just
there
so
and button
tired of
mash.
like, okay, this game's doing good, so we've all got to copy it. Crap.
I'm expecting something along the lines of Jedi. of the Jedi games.
Okay, perfect. I'm down for that.
I'm expecting something in that realm where it's not just flat out like Dark Soulsy, but I think it will pull from it a little bit. I don't think they're going to go pure like Devil May Cry to action combat only, but I'm expecting something a little heavier, something like closer to the Jedi games. This is where
Like,
my
I'm so
expectations
tired
are.
of roguelikes. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, get an original idea.
It's interesting because the blog post does say that it entirely takes place on one planet. Evidently, she goes to that planet and she gets stuck there. So it seems like it might be like one big
Yeah, because I
open
don't think they
world
wanted to
type
do
thing.
spaceship stuff and then
Yeah,
pull a Starfield and be like, oh, by the way, it
yeah.
still sucks.
I'm incredibly in. I think this looks it like easily like one of my probably the highlight of my show.
We are a
It looks
PlayStation show, people, for listening.
yeah.
So we're gonna hype the crap out of a PlayStation game that we think because we get to play it on our console.
Well, it's Druckmann, it's Naughty Dog, it's
It's
all of
Naughty
the
Dog,
things
man.
coming together.
They're our Jesus. So
Yeah,
you know,
yep. I can't wait. Whenever they're ready to tell us more about this, I will be seated in there, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this game.
he's
I'm
Sony Jesus. Neil Druckmann is Sony Jesus.
Neil Druckmann is Sony Jesus. All right, folks, let's talk about some game of the year. So we're gonna go around the horn. We each came with a we're gonna talk about 3 each. We also have some stuff from the community that we'll bring in that'll pepper in as we go. Been a great year for video games. There's been a lot going on. I really struggled making my list. I really had a hard
It's
time.
interesting. I thought this was like one of the worst years for me because I was like, this just not a lot spoke to me.
Interesting for me. Like I really debated like my top 3, 4 especially
You
are
have
like
4?
very
I could barely do 3.
dude. I have like 15 to like
Yeah, but
20
you
games.
got so many of your JRPGs
That's what I'm saying.
with love
Yeah.
in. Yeah, you got
That was my
that's
exact
what I'm
problem
saying.
too.
Like, if you think about it from my perspective, Matt, for single player Sony first party games, I ain't getting
Sure.
anything.
Yeah.
I got Rise of the Ronin, which I liked, but if you remember, I thought the story kind of tailed off near the end, and I was like, kind of sucked. So I
Yep.
was like, okay, like I finished it, but at the same time, I was like, I didn't care to, and I think I only did it because it was a review.
Mhm.
I didn't get my greatness. Well, I got my greatness. I got Astro, but
Yep.
we'll get through it. Yeah.
We'll get there. Let's kind of go around the horn. Let's start with our number 3s. Let's start with the third rank, and we'll kind of work our way down, and then we'll crown one the ultimate winner for the podcast. Court, hit me with your number 3 slot. What
Prince
was
of
your
Persia.
third favorite game this year?
Prince of Persia.
Lost Crown?
Yeah, I thought that
Tell
game
me
was
more.
phenomenal. I thought it's the first time I really got into one of those types of games and was like, I'm finishing this bad boy.
Mhm.
I thought the graphics on it were great. I thought the music was great. I thought the combat was great. You know, it just everything about it just felt more inviting and more, hey, anybody can play this game. We're not Super Meat Boy here. We're not going to make it so like this is impossible and you want to throw. There were some sections where I was messaging it's great, Luke. Just not for me, man. I this last year I tried so many games, and then this year I'm just like,
Play
I'm
what you
not
like.
doing it, man.
Play what you
Exactly.
like.
Alan Wake 2 did not. I'm just playing it now. Like
Mhm.
it is what it is for me this year. I had a lot going on in my life. There was 4 months where I didn't even touch my console. Like it's just
Mhm.
it is what it is. But I really like Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. Like I really like that game. That was a great game.
That's one that I missed. I wasn't in it very much in like a Metroidvania vibe this year. I tried to boot it up and then just didn't connect with me. Not any fault of the game. It's just not where I was at. So it's one that I like have on my back burner that I want to go back
That
to. But
surprised me. Like that game, remember, Matt, I was like, I'm getting a review code for this, and I just
Y-
don't care. And then I
Yep.
played it, I'm like, this game's great.
Yep. I remember how much you really fell in love with it.
No.
You're not the only one. Mr. Mitch George writes in. Mr. George over on X writes in saying, surprising myself that it's Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Such a wonderful experience from end to end. So you're not alone, Corey. A lot of people really love this game, which is why when the team got
It's so sad.
fucking
Yeah.
shuttered,
Mhm.
absolutely wild considering I guess it just didn't sell what it needed to, but the game itself looks and plays fantastic.
It reviewed well too, I think.
It did. It really did. Denny, hit me with your number 3.
My number 3 is Sonic and Shadow Generations.
Go
Is
off,
that good?
King.
So, Denny,
Yes.
tell me, because like I wonder if I should get it for my daughter.
You should. So I don't know how much you know about it, so pardon if I'm talking down to you. I apologize.
No, just talk
Talk down away.
Talk
All
down.
right. Well, it's 2 games essentially. You get the remake of the original Sonic Generations from 2011, and then you get the Shadow portion, which is kind of new and obviously tied into the marketing for the movie that comes out next week.
Already
But
have
it's
it.
great. It's fun. It's very easy to pick up. It can be very difficult the more you try to speed run it. And it's cutesy as well. There's a lot of cute elements because they're like celebrating Sonic's birthday. All in all, it's a great game. Well done, polished. It was a well-reviewed game for its time, and it's aged well. And yeah, with all the added, like you're getting the added shadow content, which is another close to 8 hours of gameplay. Well worth the money, 100%.
For me, I will. So I reviewed it and I liked it as well. Outside of that stupid hub world on the shadow side, I still hate that thing. It's still one of my up with 1,000 exorcists for one of the worst hubs in gaming in recent memory. The shadow parts are really fun. The classic Sonic stuff, it's like classic Sonic. So if you think Emma will like old school Genesis style Sonic, then yes,
definitely. And like I said, we're going to the movie on Friday.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. The movie looks so good.
I'm going Thursday night. Sorry, guys. I have to.
Yeah, that movie looks great.
It does. It looks really good. I think the early reactions are coming in pretty positive as well too. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, Denny, I don't know why I would have thought you like Sonic. There's nothing in your background that would give away that you might like Sonic.
You can't even see half of the room. That's the real Sonic.
That's where all the body pillows are. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm glad you like.
I was gonna say he's got flashlights, but whatever.
I mean,
I won. Okay, now you've got me thinking. I'm not.
Think how fast because he's going fast, right? Come on now. It's like the last when I was at the Minnow Christmas party last year. I was like, how is somebody not created a Squirtle dildo like by now? Like you could do so much with Pokemon and call the thing a Squirtle. Like I think about the Pokemon names. Like Pokemon would definitely sue you after, but you could figure out a way.
He's not wrong.
Thank you.
He's not wrong. All right, my number 3. I'm going to preface this by saying that my top 3 are pretty much all interchangeable. I had a really hard time nailing it.
They're all the same genre.
But I had to follow my heart at the end of the day. My third favorite game of this year was Astro Bot.
I'm disappointed in you being that number 3 because we wanted that game. Have you tried the Christmas level? I just played it yesterday.
I haven't yet. I've heard it's fantastic.
It's so good.
I loved Astrobot. It was joy incarnate. It is probably one of my top 10 favorite games of all time, which is why the 2 that beat it for me in terms of just this ranking, I struggled. But these other games are just, we'll get to them. But Astrobot, every level is just joy. Every pixel is just color and fun. My wife loved it. And again, she's not a gamer. And she sat down and while I was napping the baby, she was messaging me. She's like, this stupid bird. How do I take this bird down? It was just, it's a blast. The cameos, everything about it as a lifelong PlayStation fan was perfect. It was everything Court and I have been asking for years. It won Game of the Year, rightfully so.
People are so bitter about that, eh? There's a lot of bitter fans about that.
Let them be. But this game is just it's a good fucking game. It's a capital F for fun game. It is.
Thank you.
It never forgets what it is, and it is a video game through and through. In every pore. I'm going to bring in Luke at Luke Williams L2 for this, saying, I would love to hear about how you think Astrobot ended up Game of the Year. It's a great game for sure, but it feels like a really safe choice. I disagree that it's the safe choice entirely. And that's because you had a Final Fantasy. You had a Persona successor. You had Black Myth Wukong, which a lot of people were championing for. Astrobot was the dark horse in this race. It was by no stretch of the imagination the safe choice, because how does a 3D platformer that's not Mario take home Game of the Year? And even then, Mario has not won Game of the Year at the Game Awards ever.
Matt,
ever.
Even now, with the way the gaming industry goes, I thought the safe choice would have been Black Myth Wukong. That would have been the safe choice, because that's the new narrative. Why don't you just pick the hardest game possible, and that's just going to get Game of the Year? That is the new narrative we're going with. Astrobot was not a safe choice because that is never the direction people go in anymore. Yet I felt it was the game we needed. We have so many games that beat the living daylights out of us, or it's post-apocalyptic, or it's such a sad story, or this happens and this happens. And Astrobot came out and was like, hey, so we're just going to let you have fun.
We're a budget title by a smaller team that is just pure. There's not an ounce of bloat on that game. And again, there's a Final Fantasy. There's a Persona successor. Even if it wasn't Black Myth Wukong, how easy would it have been to say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth won Game of the Year and nobody would have batted an eye? It would have made sense. Astrobot is by no stretch of the imagination the safe choice. I am so glad it won because I think that this will hopefully, execs might look at this and be like, oh shit, people just want fun games.
Matt, what would we say?
Okay.
We want another Ratchet and Clank. We want some more fun. Give me some
Yeah.
more fun.
And again, there's nothing wrong with the other games there. There's nothing wrong with having difficult games, but that's been everything that the industry has been in ever since the Dark Souls took off.
Yeah.
It is not a bad thing to have some levity and some light and some just fucking fun games. So I disagree, Luke. I don't think it was a safe choice. I think Black Myth, I think Final Fantasy would have been the safe choice. Court, hit me with your number 2.
My number 2 is Helldivers 2.
Hell yeah.
I had way too much fun. Yes, it was like a month and a half, but I don't think we've said this a million times playing it, and when we reviewed it and when we talked about it on the show before, and I don't think I've laughed that much playing a video game. Like the amount of times, that one time where you hit me with the laser by an accident, you cut us all in half, and we were just like, we were literally at the very end about to get on the ship, and Matt just slices us all with lasers and gets in and just he gets away, but we all got trophies for it, so it was really cool when he did it. But it was
I did that on purpose.
The amount of clip it of things, or like we would be doing something and Steve would be the guy that always just has to go off and do nothing and be like, oh, look at this shiny thing over here, while we're like, me and Matt are like killing all these. I just had way too much fun with that game, and it wasn't a game that I was looking forward to. Thought about it, I wanted to play. Even when we got the review code, I said to Matt, I'm like, all right, let's give it a try. And even Matt, your expectation, neither one of us had expectations going into this game, and then we were both like, oh my god, I can't stop playing it. Like I hadn't had a game that made me go, hey dude, let's meet tonight, wife's going to bed at this time, like let's start playing again.
I think Helldivers was surprising because it felt like there was no hype for it. I loved and played the original. I played the shit out of the original. So for me, I was excited about it, but the 3 perspective switch, I was a little bit like, I'm excited to get my hands on it. I didn't have much expectation, but it didn't seem like anybody was talking about it. Nobody seemed to be like ready for it, and then it came, and then it just blew the fuck up. So kudos to them. It's number 14 on my list. But it's again fantastic, real good game. Danny, hit me with your number 2.
My number 2 is actually Astrobot, and the only reason why it's number 2 for me is I had no hype for it the entire time it was announced. It was only closer to its release and people started talking about it, the more I got interested, that I decided it was well worth to pick it up, and I had a great time with it. So yeah, that's my number 2 for it. It's just Astrobot. Good time.
Hell yeah. I mean, we've talked plenty about Astrobot. Nothing more to be said. I'm gonna bring in
literally my number 1. So like, there's nothing more to be said. So
you'll say it.
Going with it. Yeah,
you'll say it. My number 2 is Metaphor ReFantazio.
I am shocked
for a Persona, a Persona spiritual successor, basically based on a lot of the team that has made Persona, to take it into a new way to revolutionize and modernize and take that idea and take it to somewhere new. Just fantastic. The story is amazing. It's light. There's moments of levity, but it also deals with some incredible themes and stuff that people don't usually like to touch on. There's so much in that game. Like once I started, I was locked in for the entire 60 hours it took me to finish it. I had a blast. I loved it entirely, and I finished it. I just wanted more. I just want more Persona. I like this. This is my thing. So that's why for me, I loved Metaphor. And again, just the fact that it was also nominated for Game of the Year. When I was playing Persona 4 Golden back on the Vita, I never would have expected this series, and I'm going to lump it in together, but I never expected it to come as far as it has, and I'm very, very happy that it has, and so many people have resonated with these games. I'm going to bring in Jesse Taylor at Broximar.com with his game of the year is Astrobot. The game that lived up to the hype was Metaphor. His best indie was Balatro, and his biggest surprise or game he didn't think he would enjoy but loved was Stellar Blade. Thanks for writing in, Jesse. Those are some fantastic picks. Stellar Blade, number 15 on my list.
It was Stellar Blade was. Remember, it
was good.
I thought the combat, I thought the gameplay was great. The story just was like, okay.
See, I personally really like the story. I think the gameplay took too long to get good. I think the first third of that game is just not fast enough. There isn't enough going on. And then once you start to upgrade Eve, and once Eve starts to you get more with her.
You just wanted her to bounce.
That's what I needed. Once the double jump hit and it was just maximum bounce.
Is Alan Wake 2 this year or last year?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in my
It's
top
one of
3
my
last year.
favorite games I played this year.
Yeah, it was on my top 3
I feel
last
like
year.
I'm turning into Dave. I'm just playing old games.
Play the old games, bro. Nothing wrong with that. Court, hit me with your number 1.
It's Astrobot. It's a game that still is giving more. The fact the amount
Mhm.
of free DLC that they're giving. Matt, you of all people, and I will not spoil. You need to play the Christmas.
I need to. I wasn't home for the
Like,
weekend, so
it is a
I'm locked in
present
tomorrow.
for you, Matt.
For me?
Oh, 100%.
It's a
There are 2
present for me?
characters you unlock in there
There's
that are
2
presents for Matt.
for me.
For
The year
2
of
You
Matt
literally say
continues.
to Matt.
No, like
I-
I've had so much fun. I've played all the time trials. I finished all the levels. It's a game that I played, and Matt knows it was the first game that I played from front to back with my daughter, and we traded lives going back and forth. She still to this day, it's her favorite game. So I have a lot of extremely fond memories of this game this year.
Mhm.
And I truly, truly love it.
Hell yeah, Astrobot supremacy. Let give us more Astrobot like ASAP tomorrow, every day. Every day, every
They
day.
did a phenomenal job, and
They really did.
It's their new mascot, and it is what it is, and we move on.
And we're happy about it.
Yeah.
Danny, hit me with your number 1.
Well, yeah, my number 1 is
I'm really prepared to be just shocked,
I know you
surprised.
will be. Yeah, because I'm gonna say it's NHL 25.
Yeah, right.
Ah!
As if.
That's an honorable mention for me, but that's just not even fair, just because I just enjoy the game.
Oh, it's a fun game, but they've messed it up a little bit with some updates. Anyways,
the gameplay's great. People get so mad about game modes, but anyways,
that's a whole other podcast. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is mine. I mean, look, I'm just gonna tie it back to this 30th anniversary for PlayStation. My fond, like I said, we talked about this on the last podcast. Like, I have a fond memory playing PlayStation as a kid, and one of the first games I had was Final Fantasy VII, and to do it decades later and being able to relive that energy, relive that hype, it speaks volumes to me. I love the game, and I love it so much that I've actually stopped myself from finishing it. Not just giving up on it for a while, putting it away, then coming back. I'm stopping myself from finishing it because I know I have to wait so much longer to pick up and play the third part.
And you're waiting until you get your PS5 Pro.
Oh yeah, that too. Or I might just buy the PC version because it looks better than it does on the PS5
dude,
Pro.
you gotta buy a PS5 Pro now, right now with the no tax.
Yeah, no tax, bro.
Fine.
Think about it.
That was easy.
Kenny,
Okay.
How many?
I'm leaving now.
Let's
Okay,
before we keep. How many consoles do you have in your house?
Me?
Yeah.
Like current gen or all together?
Current gen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, Mr.
6.
Lou Bega, no Mambo number 5 over here.
Look at it. Look at it. Now, how many of them do you not use?
1, 2,
1.
3.
1.
Okay.
It's the Xbox.
So if you took that Xbox and that PS5 and traded in for a PS5 Pro,
I thought about
pay
that.
in nothing and
Fair
you get
enough.
a new console.
Fair enough.
And you don't have to pay for Game Pass anymore, and that's
But
$25 a month.
the thing is, Denny's waiting till readily availably get a disc drive so he can continue to play Final Fantasy VII.
So
there's a disc drive sitting at my Walmart. It's been there every time I've gone there. It's still there.
Milton. Mississauga? Mrs. Old Milton.
Milton.
Oh, dude. Hey, I used to like live in Milton for like 7 years.
Oh, I've been here for like a decade.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, Eddio's is like one of my favorite restaurants.
Okay, have you heard what's been
way too much British music?
Yeah,
but like it's good.
Have you heard what's been going on with that place?
No.
Okay, we'll talk on a side.
I play golf with that. I used to play in his golf tournament every year.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
he's gone to jail now.
Oh, wow, that makes sense.
He's gone to jail now.
That makes sense. But do I have to drive to Milton? I might have to drive to Milton. Matt, we should have lunch.
You might have to drive to Milton.
We can meet Denny, and I'll go get that. I need a disc drive.
I would have met you two yesterday if you showed up.
Well, okay,
oh yeah.
Here's what happened, Denny.
No.
I'm gonna get to it.
We'll talk about this after.
No, we already said my number 1. So on Friday night, I went out drinking for the first time in 4.5 months after because my wife's had the surgery, and I went too far too quick. I went to a hockey Christmas party for my daughter's hockey team, and it was only parents allowed. And I got into the scotches, and I got into the drinks, and it got out of hand. By 2:00 in the morning, my head was spinning, and I woke up and I'm like, I ain't driving anywhere. I was a mess. I had to coach hockey the next day. I'm sweating on the bench. Just way too much. Riley even messaged me in the day and he was like, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. It's not going to happen. But I need this drive. Like I need one.
Yeah, I had family stuff going on, so I couldn't be there too. But we'll talk about that later. My number, no, Denny, yes, number of Rebirth. I mean, again, not surprising. What I need to ask, what does the final part need to do to stick the landing?
Just be fucking good. I don't know. Like you're asking for a lot because this is basically the last 2 discs of the game that you're gonna have to put in the final game. So that's a lot to put in. So I can't even fathom what they're gonna have to do.
I hope they do it. I have faith in them. They've knocked the first 2 out of the park. I'm sure they're gonna do it.
And I mean, really, they're gonna like I think they've taken the smart direction by like this whole parallel timeline type of concept. So it gives them the freedom to not have to try and stick to the story to cram all that content. And if I'm not mistaken, the last disc was only the final fight, anyways, on the original PlayStation. So
there you go.
Maybe we'll be okay, but just make it good. Keep doing what you're doing. Make it look nice, and just do good.
Bring her home. Bring her home.
That's it.
My number 1 is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I adore this game.
Once again, I am shocked.
You should be. You should be. Ichiban continuing his story was fantastic, bringing Kiryu back and bringing him in the way that they did. Especially with him fighting cancer and everything that he was doing. There's just that game and that series has become one of my favorite of all time. Just balancing the heart and the levity, these emotional, massive character moments with absolutely batshit insane sideways stuff. Like it marries it all together in a really weird way. I love Scrubs. I love Gintama. They're my 2 favorite shows of all time. So Yakuza just kind of really, and Like a Dragon just fits into that niche of like making you cry from tears in 1 second to making you cry from laughter in another. It going to Hawaii for the first time, taking us out of Japan was really, really cool. The cast is awesome, having cast from both sides. There's just so much to love here. I adored it. I know people had their issues with it, but for me, I mean, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is just the best. Like I still think about it. It's a game that I'm actually thinking about going back to platinum, and I don't do that. But like I adore that game so very much. Steve writes in as Vigvari on Bluesky saying, "Don't tell me what to do," but also Balatro. Balatro's his game of the year. Not surprising.
That's a great game on iOS. Play it every day.
It's a fantastic
that
game.
And you know what? You know what my game of the year is?
Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Oh my god, it gotta be.
Is it really?
Dude, I have never had this much fun with my daughter. We open our packs every day. I'm liking Matt's stuff. Matt, you pulled a nice card. I could not get that from you. That little bat thingy. I was trying to get that. Honorable mention Concord. That game sucked.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Rip.
Nagachaka writes in, what's the real 2024 GOTY and why is it 1,000x resist? Number 4 on my list.
I don't even know what that is.
It's not a court game. It is not a court game. It's not a court game. On any other year, that easily would have been my number 1. These other 3 just hit me more personally, but 1,000x resist, my indie of the year, easily. Incredible.
Also, Matt, you forgot to mention you got to review all those games that you just talked about.
I did. I got to review all of those games.
Giddy like a little schoolgirl on all of them.
A massive thing for me. But 1,000x resist. It's not on PlayStation, but I encourage everybody to go check that out. Not court, you're not gonna like it.
Nope.
But a lot of other people. Denny, I think you should. You could probably like it. Yeah. It's just incredible. Like it's weird and it's out there, but it's just it's made me cry. It's insane. That game is unlike anything else. Folks, I'm pretty oh yeah, wait, hold on. Rice couldn't make it today, but he did hit me with his 3 being Astrobot, Tekken 8, and Dragon's Dogma 2. He didn't order them or number them, so I'm not sure.
No one even could have we all guessed that.
Yeah, I think we could have easily guessed all 3 of those. I'm pretty confident, folks, with Astrobot being on all of our lists to crown Astrobot our PlayStation generation game of the year. I think again, I have no I'm more than happy with that. I think that's a game that we all love and celebrate. So let's
and it's a game that keeps on giving.
Astrobot. And it's a game that keeps on giving. Astrobot. PlayStation generation.
I'm sorry, I think that's a terrible controller.
I love it. I love it. You still pissed me off when you mentioned that these eyes should blink, and I never forgot it. But I do love the controller.
They should.
I bet there's a mod for that somewhere.
It's too much work for me to even think about opening this thing up and going through all that. Let's start out with some questions from our wonderful community. Jaden Rose writes in saying, happy holidays. I hope you guys have a safe and restful end of the year. 2 questions. Will Denny stay on the official co-host lineup for the podcast? You guys have awesome chemistry together. There you go, dude. Some love coming your way.
Love
Denny
it. Thank you.
Denny will be around. Don't worry. He will be coming back and hanging out with us. Plenty. Because again, like Rice doesn't get the JRPGs and Court sure as hell doesn't get it. So I need somebody in my corner here. And I need that.
See, this is why I'm the good all around guy, because I get the JRPGs, but I also get like the hockey games.
There you go.
So
if Court and I fused, you'd have Denny.
Exactly.
That's what
I'm the best of both. No.
You're the best of both worlds. What do you want in
what?
Right there you go. You're welcome. What do you want in games for 2025? Be broader specific. What do you want out of gaming in 2025? I think for me, I want PlayStation first party to show up. And I think that's what it is for me. And I'm not even just talking about specifically, 3 first party games to hit next year. I want them to start talking to us. I want them to start showing what they're working on. I want them to start telling us about what's coming and when. I need at least 1 or 2 good first parties to come together next year. But for me, what I want in gaming, we talked about Astrobot. I just want more of that type of game. I want more celebration of the
fun.
medium that we
more
live.
Fun, Matt.
More fun. And I need PlayStation first party to show up. That's my answer.
I want Wolverine to not suck.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
I have what I don't say I don't doubt it. It could suck. I want Wolverine to not suck. And I want more I want more games that I can enjoy like I did Astrobot and right now with Pokemon Pocket that I can enjoy with my daughter, because as she's getting older, she's really getting into video games and I want to be able to enjoy more with her, and it's changing the way I play games. Like there is no way, and Mac and Atone, there's no way 2 years ago I'd be playing Pokemon Pocket as much as I'm playing that game.
Nope. Absolutely not.
There's no chance.
Not.
And that game's amazing.
But then you go, look, you tried something new and it worked.
Oh, I can open a pack.
Sometimes it works. I can too. Denny, what do you want from games in 2025?
I'll tell you what I want less of, and this might be a hot take, is I want less hero shooters.
Okay.
I think you guys are right about fun games, and it's just like I feel like we've forgotten that games are supposed to be fun with all the more difficult type games and just the competitive type games. So for me, more fun games, which is I think synonymous amongst all of us, but less hero shooters specifically. Are we opening packs together?
We're opening packs together.
I got nothing, dude.
Oh my god.
I get nothing.
Do I got anything? Bulbasaur full art. I'll take it. I have a couple of these.
That's your that's 2 GXs, 2 EXs in 2 days.
That's a full art. That's a full art.
You got an EX yesterday too.
I'm okay with that. That's a full art. I'm trying to get to the Mew. I'm almost there. I'm like 10 cards off from getting the Mew.
Which cards do I need? Because I'm
you need the original 150 from Pokemon Red. You need the original 150.
Okay, so I'm very close.
It's not organized very well, but I'm getting close. And Jaden writes in, continues to write in saying for their GOTYs, as a backlog gamer, I would say Super Liminal ended up being a cathartic experience for me. Like it unexpectedly touched me, spoke to my core. There you go. As for this year, the Plucky Squire, for sure, the game deserves its flowers. It worked as a great primer for its cousin platformer, Astrobots. Well spoken. I wish I could have finished that game. I got like a game locking bug, and I wasn't going to play through like 6 chapters again. I got upset. Black Wyver writes in saying, hello, PlayStation Generation crew for GOTY. Spider-Man 2 is my game of the year. Absolutely loved it. If I was to limit it to games released this year, it would be Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Hold on. Spider-Man 2 came out this year?
Last year.
But that's a game that they played.
Right? Yeah.
No, it's a game that they played this year that they liked. But if they had to limit it to this year, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. Question for the show. What was your favorite gaming-related purchase made this year? Any memorabilia, gaming year, or simply an exclusive collector's edition game? Also, quick shout out to everyone on PlayStation Generation, including the guests that have appeared on the show this year. You have all been awesome and add a lot of positive vibes. Much love. Thank you, Black Wyver. Thank you for your listening. Continue to support. You are fantastic. What was your favorite gaming related purchase this year?
The premium pass on Pokemon Pocket.
Pop up, bro. Pop up. There you go.
You get 2 packs a day now.
You get a third.
Yeah,
you get 3 packs.
Yeah, you get 3 packs, and then you get all. Oh, it's so good. Because I didn't purchase much this year. I didn't.
Not the PS5 Pro. Not the PS5 Pro.
But Pokemon. What? Sorry.
PS5 Pro.
Actually, yeah, that thing has been. I've been loving every minute of that.
I know.
Like, I still can't believe how good Dragon Age looks on that compared to even the PS. I was like, no, it can't be that big of a deal. I was talking to Matt Maywood, who I used to do Xbox A with today, and he was like, he was like, I should go buy that, and I opened up my phone and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put on Spider-Man. And I'm like, you remember how you had to choose between performance or graphics? I'm like,
Mhm.
now you don't choose. You just play. And he's like, shut your front door. And he was
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm going to get it. I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
go get it.
Yeah, the pro would be mine too. I mean, I'm gonna squeak in the Quest 3 because I bought it literally on like Boxing Day last year. So I know it's not this year, but it's close
You
enough.
did love that though.
Yeah, I love this thing. I think
How
it's
is the
fantastic.
Steam Deck not your favorite thing?
Not I bought it like 4 years ago, bro. I bought
Okay.
that on launch. I had that like I was in line for that shit like day one. But yeah, the Steam Deck is probably one of my. It's probably if not
What's
my
your most
favorite
used
gaming
gaming
period.
how
It's
do you
just
say
really
that?
Peripheral.
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 Thank you.
Handheld.
Thank you, Denny.
You're
Mhm,
welcome.
mhm. Danny, what was your favorite gaming gaming thing that you bought this year?
Gaming thing?
Mhm.
Oh, geez. My Portal's been sitting bedside,
There you
so
go.
it gets the most use right now.
hmm as it should. You got the portal and you got the lube. The big two.
He said it. He was right.
Chris in the chat, love my Astrobot controller, and then he fucking says my fucking Fortnite controller. Chris, I love you, but my god, that controller is an abomination.
I have a
Especially-
present for you, Matt.
You shut the fuck up.
I was gonna give it to you yesterday. I brought it for you.
You're so full of shit. Chris in the chat just letting on the Helldivers 2 DualSense now. I think that controller looks cool. PlayStation 30th. Yeah, the 30th controller. Also awesome. I love that thing.
Yeah,
Um,
you love it so much it's sitting on an angle and driving me
that's just the
insane.
box. That's just the box.
I don't care.
Gotta put some rocks in it so it stands up straight.
You want me to angle it? There you go.
Oh,
Is that
it's
better?
so disorganized. I don't understand what's
that
wrong with you.
Is that better? Had a lot going on, man.
Same,
Dave.
but you're good now. We talked about this. You're good now. Kumbaya.
Ish. Dave
Until
writes in.
you're not. Okay, fair.
Dave Pietrangelo writes in saying,
Boo,
"Will there
Dave.
be a possible
Boo, Dave.
PlayStation Game of the Year repeat next year? Do you think PlayStation could take Game of the Year
Yeah,
next year as
Wolverine.
well?
100%.
You think Wolverine's gonna hit next year?
Yes.
That's wishful thinking.
We're getting Ghosts. I'm getting my Ghost game at the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
We know
Cool.
that. And I think Wolverine hits in the fall. I do.
I hope you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if that slips to 2026. I think Yote could take it. Here's the
Dude,
caveat. Here's the
Those games are
caveat.
so good.
If Grand Theft Auto 6 hits next year,
then
nothing
it's
else
over.
matters.
Nothing matters.
And the Switch 2 coming out, whatever's
Hold on,
around
Grand
it.
Theft Auto 6 is hitting. Yeah, no, I
Well,
take it all back.
theoretically.
Eh,
Theoretically. I wouldn't be surprised
eh,
if that thing slips
eh.
until
When
2026.
April
when they had-
2025. Call
when-
it.
When they announce that they're going to be making this much money in this little time span, the game's
I
coming
know.
out. Dude.
I hope so.
You can't say
I'm,
that to investors and not bring the game out.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, but they're not going to ship an unfinished game. They don't release games that they're not ready.
Hold on. Do you not remember Grand Theft Auto Online? How unfinished that was?
Sure, that was
It's
a decade
taken
ago.
years for that. Yeah,
But
it's
you-
taken a
but
decade
hold
for it to
on,
get
Matt,
better.
think about this. They've been working on this game for that long.
Mhm.
They originally, when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, Grand Theft Auto Online was a disaster, but
Yep.
no one cared because it was Grand Theft Auto. If there was any other game that had such a disastrous online launch, like Halo, like
Mhm.
it would die. So I think the game's coming. Yeah, I could take it all back. Like, there's no other game of the year. Grand Theft Auto wins.
It's like I think we're gonna need a real surprise from PlayStation for them to take GOTY. It's
Like,
going
what?
to be
Okay,
Grand
so
Theft
what
Auto.
would that be? You're not gonna get.
If Naughty Dog somehow hits, I could see a
I don't see
conversation.
that hitting next year.
Well,
It's
didn't they
been
say they've
it's
been
been
working on
years
this game for like
since
since
2020.
2020?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not an outside shot that it comes out next
Hold
year.
on. When they announced, because they always announce at Game Awards, it was the only reason I made my thing. And Denny took the easy way out by Borderlands. He was right. It was the easy way.
All right.
It was.
Okay. Fair
But
enough.
how quickly, because The Last of Us 1 was announced and we got the game 2 years later. But
Mhm.
then again, that first trailer we saw was
a while
rough.
ago.
It was rough. When we got the last announcement, when they did The Last of Us Part 2, they did
It's
it on
usually
stage.
you're right. It's usually a couple of years.
Yeah, it's 2
But
years.
I
usually.
think it's been long enough now. I think Sony has in the last in this console generation has learned to keep its cards closer to its chest until they're ready. I would not be surprised. I think there's a chance. I'm not saying it's coming out next year. I think if it were to, there's a conversation possibly for Game of the Year. If Wolverine somehow hits, there's a conversation there.
I almost think you don't put out Wolverine now. If Grand Theft Auto's out, you just let it hit.
If Death Stranding 2 hits, there's a conversation there.
That
Like
game is not going to be Game of the Year.
I'm saying it could be a conversation, but I'm saying Grand Theft Auto 6 hits, and if Switch 2 hits, if there's a new Mario, if there's a new Smash, if there's a new Mario Kart, if there's a new what's it called, Animal
If
Crossing,
there's a new Mario Odyssey, that's the only thing that's going to
there's
give Grand Theft Auto a run for its money.
and again, remember, only Mario Odyssey only lost to Breath of the Wild in terms of game of the year, like
And
that.
which still, I'm going to say it now, was a travesty because Mario Odyssey was one of the best Mario games ever.
Agreed, but Breath of the Wild is still great. But I think that it's gonna be an uphill battle for PlayStation to take GOTY next year. Is it a 0% chance? I don't think so, but I would not be bullish on them winning next year. As we've talked about this, and I've talked like the Switch 2 launch, Grand Theft Auto 6. I think
Mind you, Matt, do you know that you called if Astrobot comes, it's going to be Game of the Year, and it was? You said that at the beginning of last year. You said if Astrobot drops, it's Game of the Year.
Super Mario Sunshine 2 would take GOTY in a heartbeat. Chris, you're 100% right. Sunshine 2 would take it. No doubt.
Really?
No
Sunshine?
doubt. I love Sunshine, bro. I love Sunshine.
Danny, it's the age thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
They don't know good games.
It's real good. It's real good. Okay.
It's not.
That brings us to the end of the show, folks. Thank you for riding with us this year. It's been a hell of a first year for us. It's getting out to hang out together, getting to know Matt, so many of you wonderful folks who have come through, who've hung out with us, who've listened to the show. Thank you all. Stay strapped in. We're going to be back next year for another year full of ridiculousness and fun. If you want to leave us a Christmas present, review the show. Toss it on there on your Spotify or Apples. Throw us a 5-star. Leave us some kind words. And we would really, really appreciate that. Just helps us get to new folks. And world domination is our goal. I am the brain. I am the pinky to Court's brain. So just ride out with us. We appreciate you all so very much. Denny, my dude, once again, thank you for hanging out with us the last number of months. You will be back, and you will be back frequently. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been awesome having you.
It's been great. Thank you so much for having me here, guys.
And tell us, where can people follow you?
Yep, absolutely. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all those fun places. All those are available on my Linktree. So Linktree/Denny Gaming.
And if you want to see more of Denny and Rice continuing to do their things, go check out Power Up Gamers, because it is fantastic and there's a lot
absolutely
to go check them out. Court, my dude, where can people see you? You can find Court on 3 Dads on Wednesdays. You can find his work across Console Creatures as well. And of course, you can find him just being a fantastic all-around person and father. So go check him out on all those places except for the last one. There you go. I did it for you. And of course, you can find me over here on Console Creatures. You can also find my work over at butwhythough.net. Folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you all. Always stay safe. Have a wonderful holiday season and a fantastic New Year. We'll be back on January the 5th. We'll see you then. Peace.
Bye.